What if people used to think that unicorns were real because they actually were? I don't think we're supposed to be here.
There's a lot of talk about unicorns tonight. Curious if you had a favorite, maybe mythical creature as a kid that you would like to see brought on screen.
Everyone keeps talking about this and I don't know, I can't think of a single mythical creature. Can you? What's another one? Someone said a mermaid, but I don't really care for those. I'm not big on the ocean.
We just gonna forget this whole thing ever happened.
You know what I used to love
Animated.
as a kid? Gremlins. Gremlins
Remake.
would
Is it
love.
coming?
We should. 3? Gremlins 3? 4? I don't know.
Yeah.
Call me.
This is a complete failure of management.
Toy Story is one of my favorite movies. Part of the reason was like I always imagined my like stuffed animals coming to life. So I'd be really into like that as an idea.
What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with it? We just gave you 3 brilliant ideas.
There were always those things that when you're kind of growing up, you think like, is there really an abominable snowman, or are there really leprechauns? I always remember as a kid reading those stories too, where like the fairies would come out and make all the shoes while everyone was sleeping, or clean the house, and I always thought, that's cool. I hope those are real. I want some fairies to come into my room and make me some shoes.
Peter Pan and mermaids. Yeah, those 2 things.
We were only trying to drown her.
You see?
Funny you should ask that because it was actually a griffin. Like I would like draw them because I was obsessed with them. Yes, they're kind of like Frankenstein-ish type creatures that are just like lots of different pieces of animals like stitched together. But I thought they were so cool.
Push Me Pull You, that just comes to mind. You remember Push Me Pull You, Dr. Dolittle? It was like an animal with like heads on both sides. They haven't thought of a Push Me Pull You since, I don't know, I was 7 or something.
What would you do if you had 2 heads?
I'd join a circus son.
Exactly.
Do you have maybe a fun fact from the making of this film that we should put in the trivia section for the movie?
If you ask other cast members about pistachios, ask them about pistachios. As a cast, we used to eat a lot of pistachios
We heard about this.
and play what we call pistachio ball, and we'd throw shells into a basket in the middle of a circle.
We would throw the shells into a basket, and I'm not kidding that we did this for hours.
How did this start?
I literally don't know. We had clearly too much time on our hands, and we'd like all come up with like the funniest line as you threw a pistachio line into a ball. It was very silly.
It was our favorite pastime. Don't hate it till you try it, you know?
Very silly. Grown adults doing that, I don't know.
Yes, we're gonna live forever.
Curious if you have maybe a fun fact that we should add to the trivia for the movie.
More people are killed by hippopotamuses than unicorns. That's a fact.
There are kind of nods to classic films that certainly Alex, the director, loves. We all do. My last name in this movie is Kintner. That is a name that might be familiar to people who have seen the movie Jaws many times.
The movie has in film textually references these famous tapestries from the Middle Ages called the Hunt of the Unicorn tapestries. They're super famous. They're housed at the Met Cloisters Museum in New York City. They're kind of like the most intricate and beautiful piece of artwork to survive from the Middle Ages. The movie sort of is like a loose adaptation of those, but if you look around the set, there are a ton of little Easter egg references to it. If you stare at those tapestries long enough and then watch the movie enough times, you'll start to see stuff.
It's an opportunity for immortality.